Right, buckle up, you petrol heads, because we're going for a drive. Not just any drive, mind you. We're talking about a roaring, rumbling, tire-squealing trip through the annals of automotive history. Welcome to our journey through automotive history. Today we'll be exploring the most iconic cars from each decade, starting from the 1900s all the way to the present day. We'll be looking at the cars that didn't just get us from A to B, but did it with style, innovation, and a good dose of that thing that gets us blokes going: power. So sit back, grab a cuppa, and get ready to feast your eyes on some of the most incredible machines ever to grace the tarmac. Now, some of you youngsters might be thinking the Ford Model T, bit boring, isn't it? Well, let me tell you, back in 1908, this thing was revolutionary. Before old Henry Ford came along with his crazy idea of an assembly line, cars were the playthings of the rich and famous, but the Model T, with its simplicity and affordability, brought motoring to the masses. It was built like a tank, could handle any terrain you threw at it, and was about as exciting to drive as watching paint dry, but that didn't matter. It got the job done, and by Jove, did it sell. Over 15 million Model Ts rolled off the production line, making it one of the best-selling cars of all time. It put America on wheels and paved the way for the automotive industry as we know it. So next time you see a beat-up old Model T, doff your cap in respect. It might not be a looker, but it's a legend. Now, if the Model T was the people's car, the Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost was the chariot of the gods. This, my friends, was automotive opulence at its finest. Built for the discerning gentleman, and the occasional lady, I suppose, the Silver Ghost was all about effortless power, exquisite craftsmanship, and a ride so smooth you could practically sleep in the back. They didn't skimp on the details either. We're talking handcrafted interiors, polished wood veneers, and enough leather to make a herd of cows weep. Under the hood, you'd find a massive six-cylinder engine that purred like a contented lion. It was the kind of car that made a statement wherever it went. The Silver Ghost was more than just a car. It was a symbol of success, sophistication, and a jolly good time to be alive. All right, enough with the luxury barges. Let's talk about something a bit more spirited. The Bugatti Type 35, a car that was born to race, and boy did it race well. This thing was an absolute beast on the track, dominating Grand Prix racing in the 1920s. It was light, nimble, and powered by a screaming straight-eight engine that sounded like a banshee on a caffeine bender. But the Type 35 wasn't just about brute force. It was also a work of art. The flowing lines, the iconic horseshoe grille, even the way the wheels were designed, it was all pure automotive sculpture. Driving a Type 35 was like trying to tame a wild animal. It was dangerous, it was exhilarating, and it separated the men from the boys, or the women from the girls. We're all inclusive here. The Bugatti Type 35 left an indelible mark on motorsport, inspiring generations of speed freaks and cementing its place as a true icon of the golden age of racing. Chapter 4, Cadillac 516, the American Dream Supersized, the 1930s, a time of jazz, flappers, and the Great Depression. But even in the midst of economic turmoil, America still had a hankering for something special. Enter the Cadillac 516. This behemoth of a car was all about excess. While other manufacturers were cutting back, Cadillac went and stuffed a massive 16-cylinder engine under the hood. It was the kind of car that screamed, "Look at me, I'm rich and I don't care who knows it." And people did look. The V16 was a status symbol, a symbol of American optimism and engineering prowess. It was a technological marvel with features like overhead valves and a synchromesh transmission. It was the kind of car that made you feel like you could conquer anything, even the Great Depression. The Cadillac 516 might have been a product of its time, but it remains a testament to American ambition and the enduring appeal of a big, powerful engine. Chapter 5. The People's Car, the Volkswagen Beetle. Right, enough about these gas-guzzling behemoths. Let's talk about a car that was small, economical, and ended up becoming a global phenomenon, the Volkswagen Beetle. Now, I know what you're thinking. A car designed by Hitler. Bit dodgy, isn't it? Well, put those thoughts aside for a moment, because the Beetle was more than just its origins. It was designed to be affordable, reliable, and easy to maintain, a car for the people, by the people. Well, not exactly, but you get the idea. And after the Second World War, the world needed a bit of that. The Beetle's quirky design, air-cooled engine, and surprising amount of interior space made it a hit. It became a symbol of peace, love, and the open road, especially after that little film Herbie. The Volkswagen Beetle proved that you didn't need a massive engine or a fancy badge to create a car that people loved. It was a true icon of the people. To Chapter 6. The Chevrolet Bel Air, chrome and fins. Oh my, the 1950s, a time of rock and roll, drive-in movies, and the Chevrolet Bel Air, the car that embodied the American dream in all its chrome-laden glory. This was the era of tail fins, two-tone paint jobs, and enough chrome to blind a passing satellite. The Bel Air had it all. It was big, it was bold, and it was beautiful in a brash, American kind of way. Under the hood, you'd find a V8 engine that rumbled like a contented bear and had enough power to make your hair stand on end. This was a car that was meant to be seen and heard. The Bel Air wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of freedom, prosperity, and the boundless optimism of post-war America. It was the car your dad dreamed of owning, the car you cruised to the sock hop in. It's an icon of a bygone era, a reminder of a time when cars were more than just appliances, they were statements. Chapter 7. Now, lads and lasses, we're talking about a car that needs no introduction. The Ford Mustang, the original pony car, the car that set hearts racing and started a horsepower war that's still going strong today. When this thing hit the streets in 1964, it was a revelation. It was sporty, it was stylish, and it was affordable. It was the car that every young man and woman, let's be fair, dreamed of owning, and Ford knew exactly what they were doing. They gave it a long hood, a short deck, and a range of engines that went from mild to wild. You could have it as a 6-cylinder secretary's car or a tire-shredding V8 monster. The Mustang became an instant icon, spawning countless imitators and cementing its place in automotive history. It's a car that's as popular today as it was back then. And for good reason. It's a reminder that cars should be more than just transportation. They should be fun, exciting, and a little bit dangerous. Right, enough with these American muscle cars. Let's talk about something a bit more exotic. Something that would make even James Bond raise an eyebrow. The Lamborghini Countach. This, my friends, was a supercar before the term even existed. It was low, it was sleek, and it had doors that went up like a startled gazelle. It was the kind of car that made you want to grow your hair long, wear a gold chain, and drive very, very fast. The Countach was designed by a man named Marcello Gandini, and some say he was inspired by a spaceship. And frankly, I believe them. The thing looked like it could take off at any moment. It was powered by a V12 engine that sounded like a symphony of internal combustion. It was the kind of car that made you feel like a rock star, even if you were just driving to the shops for a pint of milk. The Lamborghini Countach was a statement, a work of art, and a true icon of 1970s excess. It was the kind of car that dreams were made of. Now we're talking about a car that's a bit of an oddball, a car that's as famous for its failures as it is for its successes. The DeLorean DMC-12, the car that Marty McFly used to travel through time, but couldn't quite make it in the real world. Designed by John DeLorean, a man who looked like he could sell you the shirt off your back, the DMC-12 was supposed to be the next big thing. It had gull-wing doors, a stainless steel body, and a name that sounded like a superhero. But sadly, the car itself was a bit of a letdown. It was underpowered, unreliable, and about as aerodynamic as a brick. It was the kind of car that looked great in pictures, but was a bit of a nightmare to actually own. But despite its flaws, the DeLorean DMC-12 has become a cult classic, thanks in no small part to its starring role in the Back to the Future films. It's a reminder that sometimes, even the biggest flops can become legends. Right, let's fast forward to the 21st century and talk about a car that's changing the game, the Tesla Model S. This is not your granddad's electric car, this is a proper performance saloon that just happens to run on electricity. Elon Musk, the man behind Tesla, is a bit of a character, isn't he? He wants to send rockets to Mars, build underground tunnels, and revolutionize the way we drive. And you know what? He might just pull it off. The Model S was a wake-up call to the established car industry. It proved that electric cars could be fast, stylish, and desirable. It had ludicrous acceleration, a range that could rival a petrol car, and a touchscreen that controlled everything. It was the car that made electric cars cool, and it forced other manufacturers to sit up and take notice. Love him or hate him, you've got to hand it to Elon Musk. He's shaken things up a bit. The Tesla Model S is a glimpse into the future of motoring. It's a car that's fast, efficient, and surprisingly fun to drive. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all be driving electric cars. Well, there you have it, a whirlwind tour through automotive history, from the humble Model T to the electrifying Tesla Model S. We've seen cars that have changed the world, cars that have become icons, and cars that have just been plain cool. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through automotive history. Which car was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more exciting content. And remember, always drive safely unless you're on a racetrack, in which case, floor it.